They didn't change you. You just finally stopped pretending to enjoy their company. Now you feel guilty for choosing peace over people. You question your intentions. You replay the conversations. You ask yourself, am I the problem? But here's a truth that Islam already taught us, long before the world invented toxic friendships. Not every heart deserves access to yours. You see, we live in a time where being social is expected. You're supposed to reply fast, show up often, keep smiling. But no one asks, what does it cost your soul to stay connected to the wrong people? You go out, you talk, you laugh, you blend in. But when you return home and the silence finally hits, the real you begins to whisper, I feel empty. Why do I feel so fake around them? Why does it feel like I lose pieces of myself every time I'm in that crowd? And that's the moment most people ignore. But it's the moment Allah wants you to notice. Because sometimes the people you're fighting to stay close to are the very people He is pulling you away from. So don't decide too early to scroll away. This isn't an entertainment video. This isn't about hype or fake drama. This is a mirror. And maybe, just maybe, you're about to hear something you were meant to hear all along. Maybe you'll never find this video again. Maybe YouTube won't even recommend it later. But if you stay till the end, you might understand why Allah has been removing certain people from your life, and why that's not a punishment. It's a protection. It starts quietly. You no longer enjoy the conversations you used to fake your way through. You sit in a room full of people, but your soul feels like it's on mute. You don't hate them, you're just tired. Tired of laughing at jokes you don't find funny. Tired of playing roles you never signed up for. And the scariest part? You start feeling guilty for wanting distance. But here's the thing no one tells you. Sometimes the loneliness you're feeling is not loneliness at all. It's clarity. It's Allah clearing the noise, so you can finally hear yourself. And in that silence, a strange question starts to form in your heart. What if I've outgrown the very people I thought I needed? You're not arrogant, you're not becoming cold, you're just beginning to see things as they really are. Some people in your life were only meant to serve a chapter, not the whole book. And when Allah loves you, He doesn't let you keep reading the same chapter over and over just because it feels familiar. Allah disconnects you, slowly, gently, painfully, but purposefully. So if lately you've been avoiding calls, skipping invites, or feeling unseen in crowds, don't panic. It's not always a sign that something's wrong with you. It could be a sign that something finally started healing in you. Because not every connection feeds the soul. You're not just choosing company, you're choosing the direction of your soul. So if Allah has been removing people from your life, don't resist it. You're not being punished, you're being rerouted. And what's ahead is quieter, lighter, and far more aligned with who you're becoming. Let them walk. You keep walking toward Allah. Because some people were never meant to walk with you forever. We've been told for years that being kind means being available. That to be a good Muslim is to say yes, to be around people, to be the one who stays in touch. But what if constantly being available to others is what's making us unavailable to Allah? Let's be real. In today's world, being social is often just another form of pressure. Group chats, meetups, events, constant check-ins. And when you try to pull back even slightly, people start calling you distant, selfish, or too religious. But here's what we forget. The Prophet ﷺ said, among the people the most beloved to Allah is the one who brings the most benefit to others. Notice, it doesn't say the one who is the most social, it says the one who brings the most benefit. So being around people isn't about being seen. It's about sincerity, purpose, benefit. And when the gatherings no longer serve your deen or your emotional health, Islam does not demand you stay. Sometimes stepping away is not selfish, it's sunnah. The Prophet ﷺ would retreat, reflect, reconnect with Allah in solitude. And we panic the moment we're alone. But maybe that's the problem. Maybe we've replaced silence with socializing and presence with performance. So next time someone makes you feel guilty for needing space, ask yourself, am I withdrawing from goodness or from distractions? Because it's not the crowd that defines your character. It's who you become when the crowd is gone. Sometimes people look at you and think you've changed, but what they don't know is that you're fighting battles they'll never see. They don't see the duas you whispered while holding back tears. They don't see how you force yourself to smile when your heart feels like it's bleeding inside. They don't notice how your silence isn't coldness, it's protection. Because if you spoke what was really on your mind, it would break the illusion everyone holds of you. And this is why you've stopped trying to explain yourself to everyone. Because the more you explain, the more misunderstood you become. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Part of the perfection of one's Islam is his leaving that which does not concern him." You don't owe your story to everyone, and you're not broken just because you can't handle what others seem to enjoy. What they call being distant may actually be emotional survival. What they call antisocial might just be you refusing to drain yourself anymore. Some of the most faithful people aren't the loudest in the room. Did I do something wrong? Why does it feel like punishment? But not every removal is a punishment. Sometimes it's a divine rescue, a quiet intervention when you were too distracted to recognize what was slowly damaging you. You see, we all want ease, but we also want control. We want peace, but we also want to choose what stays and what goes. We say, "Ya Allah, protect me from harm," while clinging to people who are the very source of it. We cry over the loss, not realizing the gain hidden behind it. But what if what's hurting you is the person you keep excusing? What if the silence they left behind was the only space where your soul could finally breathe again? Allah is Al-Latif, the subtle. And the thing about subtle mercy is, it doesn't always feel like mercy. At first, it feels like heartbreak, but healing often comes dressed in disappointment. You didn't lose them by accident. You outgrew the version of yourself that was desperate for validation. You stopped chasing those who only wanted you when they needed something. You stopped watering dead soil, and Allah began planting something new, something unseen, but not unfelt. Allah saw what you couldn't, the whispers behind your back, the exhaustion behind your loyalty, the spiritual erosion behind your patience. And so, in Allah's mercy, not His anger, Allah removed them. Let them say you changed. Let them say you became distant. Because maybe the version they liked was the one who kept shrinking to make them comfortable. While they were measuring your silence, Allah was measuring your nearness. And maybe, just maybe, the heartbreak you're mourning is the very gate through which Allah is pulling you closer. Indeed, you may dislike something, while Allah places much good in it. You asked to be protected. Allah answered, just not in the way you expected. And now that they've left, or perhaps now that you finally let go, there's one truth that settles quietly in your chest. You don't need many. You never did. You need one. Just one, whose heart trembles at the thought of disobeying Allah. Someone who doesn't just love you, but fears mistreating you because they know Allah is watching. Someone who doesn't just show up when it's convenient, but stays consistent because they see you as an amanah, a trust from the Almighty. In a world where loyalty is often fake and promises are fragile, it is rare to find a soul that anchors their behavior in taqwa, God consciousness. We chase crowds. We crave validation. We fear being alone. But the ones who are truly protected by Allah are not those surrounded by hundreds. They're the ones surrounded by sincerity. And sincerity doesn't come in groups. It comes in rare individuals who hold your name in their duas and never use your pain as gossip, who advise you privately.